this right here. Close all tabs. Pull up the chat here. Okay, that should be good. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Advent of Code Day 16. Let me pin this right here. Okay. It's annoying in like the, let me show you. When I have this dashboard, when I want to pin this, I can't. I have emotes running over it. Ah, there, okay, fixed. Boom. So yeah, Advent of Code Day 16 for today. Good morning, Amarthe Day. I listened to the pronunciation. I tried to do my best. Did you do today's challenge already? I assume so. I think you've done it previous days. Wondering when I look at this, what I always do, my workflow is to grab a screenshot of the day, and I use that to make my thumbnail for YouTube. And I saw this, I was like, okay, there will be something falling down and then shifting left and right. So I haven't read anything yet. I just saw this and was like, okay, this will be like something falling down, like those coin games, you know, that toom 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 toom. I think it will be something like that. So yeah, I was rushing a bit. Yep, done already, was quite fun. Ah, okay, looking forward to it then. My coffee is done. Yeah, let's start reading, I think. Day 16, the floor will be lava. With the beam of light completely focused somewhere, the reindeer leads you deeper still into the lava production facility. At some point you realize that the steel facility walls have been replaced with cave, and the doorways are just cave. And the floor is cave. And you're pretty sure this is actually just a giant cave. I like the writing. Finally, as you approach what must be the heart of the mountain, you see a bright light in a cavern up ahead. There you discover that the beam of light you so carefully focused is emerging from the cavern wall closest to the facility and pouring all of its energy into a contraption on the opposite side. Upon closer inspection, the contraption appears to be a flat, two-dimensional square grid containing empty space marked by a dot, mirrors, slash and backslash, and splitters, pipe and dash. Okay. The contraption is aligned so that most of the beam bounces around the grid, but each tile on the grid converts some of the beam's light into heat to melt the rock in the cavern. You note the layout of the contraption, your puzzle input, for example. Okay. So this will... Okay, I read splitters, so this one will just focus two down, and the flat one will send them to the sides or something? Interesting. The contraption is aligned so that most of the beams bounce around the grid, but each tile on the grid converts some of the beam's light into heat to melt the rock in the cavern. You note the layout of the contraption. Okay. The beam enters the top left corner from the left and heading to the right. Okay, boom. Then its behavior depends on what it encounters as it moves. If the beam encounters an empty space, it continues in the same direction. If the beam encounters a mirror, the beam is reflected 90 degrees depending on the angle of the mirror. Okay? For instance, a rightward moving beam that encounters a slash mirror would continue upwards, while a rightward moving beam that encounters a backslash would continue downwards. Okay? If the beam encounters a point of a splitter, a pipe or a dash, the beam passes through the splitter as if the splitters were empty space. For instance, a rightward moving beam that encounters a dash splitter would continue in the same direction. If a beam encounters a flat side of a splitter, the beam is split into two beams going each of the two directions the splitter's pointing ends were pointing. Okay. For instance, a rightward moving beam that encounters a pipe splitter would split into two beams, one that continues upward from the splitter's column and one that continues downward, okay? Beams do not interact with other beams. A tile can have many beams passing through it at the same time. A tile is energized if the tile has at least one beam passing through it, reflect in it, or split in it. Okay. Okay, so you will have to count how many tiles are energized. In the example above, here's how the beam of light bounces around the contraption. Oh yeah, and one goes away because it goes off the map, I think. Then it goes there, share. Why is it there are two here? Because one goes down, no. Oh, then it splits here, then it goes... Okay, I will have to check that later. Here's how the beam of light bounces around the contraption. Beams are only shown on empty tiles. Arrows indicate the direction of the beams. If a tile continues moving in multiple directions, the number of the distinct direction is shown instead. Okay, here's the same diagram, but instead only showing whether the tile is energized or not. Sure. So what was this one between the slashes? Probably because it's... Okay. Let's see, beams are only shown on empty tiles. So basically I think once you hit a point for the second time and on the same direction, you can stop propagating. But I'm maybe getting ahead of myself. Because you will be in some sort of loop. Beams are only shown on empty tiles, okay. Arrows indicate the direction of the beams. If a tile contains beams moving in multiple directions, the number of distinct directions is shown instead. Let's see, here's the same diagram, but instead only where, yes, we saw that. Ultimately, in this example, 46 tiles become energized. The light isn't energizing enough tiles to produce lava. To debug the contraption, you need to start by analyzing the current situation. With the beam starting in the top left heading right, how many tiles end up being energized? Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see how we will do this. It's still not 100% crystallized in my head, but I have some ideas. Bum, ba-da, bum, bum, ba-da, bum. Let's see. 16. I changed the base class yesterday to add like this whole thing and the input override. Since I do that every day, I was like, okay, let's just change my base class because I will do that anyway. And then we have the test input would be 46 tiles. Okay. Okay. Answer P1 test will be 46. Okay, so we have const char energize equals hash. Empty is dot. And then we have vertical splitter equals pipe. Horizontal splitter equals dash. Mirror. I might need some better names in a bit, but let's just do this and let's zoom so that you can read along more easily. Mirror top left to bottom right. Just this. Did I forget anything? Let me go back. is fine. It needs to be like this because it's an escape character. Let's make an enum to indicate which direction it reflects in. Public enum light distance so we do up, right is 2, down is 4, left is 8. Something like this. So we can have a so I was thinking for like each tile to record which one is in there. Let's see, I was thinking the same. How would I name my constant? So I decided not to use cons at all. Yeah, makes sense. I'm wondering if I should create a class for the point, basic. But actually, I think, do I have point in here? Point. No. Because I think you can actually do math with the points, right? The system point drawing point. Let's see. Is there's operators like for implicit plus minus subtract unchecked. Okay. Funny. So I think actually if I would just use system.drawing.point, I could easily do the math. Probably just have like each location be a point. But on the other hand, let's not, because I already have helpers to make this easier. Let me think if I should do this. My reasoning is based on one of these chars plus the angle that it's traveling. I can yield the result. So my thinking was like, if I take a so like public int do I do int y? Nah, let's do row int call, because my helpers work like that, and I don't need to have it public. And I could actually make it enumerable. Move, and this would be light distance direction. Current position. And it makes sense to do this in the other order. You start with your position, your current direction, and probably a map of all these things, like a hash set of this. No. A hash set of this called tiles. And maybe we also want to keep track of the ones that are lightened up, that are lit, So we could also do like I set. No, let's not, because we don't care for that. We can do that outside. So now we can do, boom, let me think. So I can do this next tile. Current, wait, let me think. We have the current position. We have the direction we're going. Yes, okay. So we need to just have something that gives us offset, like that. And this one is, should probably have a mapping here. So we can do a dictionary, light distance, come on, light distance, and then this int row int col, directional move, is new, but let's also initialize it by saying light distance dot up becomes row -1, 0, like this. So we have up, right, down, left. So to the right would be increasing the x, down would be increasing the y, and left would be decreasing the x. So next tile would be, and I could take into effect the map here. Next, let's just say next map tile. And I wonder if I need to. The thing is, you need to account for the bounds, and no, I can just. I don't even need to do this at all. I can just take like var offset is directional move direction, like this, right? So this is the offset towards our current position. So we can do next tile equals current position plus direction plus offset, and then I can't. So int row int col combine, like this. And this is why I wanted to use points. This. My game dev brain started to scream, X is first! And then I saw your row is first and col is second. Yeah, I know. Like XY, I always do XY, but in these kinds of things, because you always do the outer loop for the row, you always do row column. So I actually have code where I mix them up and have row column versus XY, and I cross them, and it's a pain. But in general, yes. When you do XY notation, you declare X first. But it goes against a lot of the ways that the arrays work, because we work with multi-level arrays. You have the rows as the first index and then the columns as the second. So that's why you'll see most people, when they do Advent of Code stuff, go row column. But yes, I'm the same. My first instinct is to always use XY. So this becomes combine. If I could spell combine. Like this, and I could probably make a record and implement it there, or just fall back to points, but it's all fine, it's all fine. let's see. Now we need to make sure that the tile is in bounds. Bool is in, and we do the same here. Position, and then we do, actually do I know the map? Let me just do this here. Input dot two lines. Var raw map is this. Now we have int row count, call count. Row count is raw map length, call count is but for the first one. So, and then we can do the position dot row larger or equal to 0 and position control, yes, and position dot row smaller than row count. Wow, it actually spit out correct code. That is nice. If is inbounds next tile. Let's see. Now I want to actually split these out, so I can do raw map.map, and this one will feed all the things that are special. So we will do a vertical splitter, horizontal splitter, mirror top left, mirror top right. Okay, var special is this. Var all combined is special. No, let me just do this to dictionary. I should actually just make map all. Let me just write this extension right now, because what I want to do is to have all of those in one dictionary. So I have my extension that says map, like this, and now we'll do call this map all. This becomes a dictionary of this, comma, okay. And we do this result is new, return result, okay. And now we just walk actually the entire thing. For int row, let me just do it like this. Row is 0, row smaller than raw. Okay. Because this is IEnumerable string, so I need to actually do this. So I could actually do this. So I would select, actually this would be key, and then val, and this would be marker. Yes, and then I can do to dictionary, like this. Okay, am I missing something here? This one, yes. To dictionary, So I still have my single line result here. Okay, so now I have it mapped. Well, takes 4 arguments. It's the same, right? Oh wait, I needed to do this one actually. Haha. I took the wrong one. Map all. Okay, my bad. And then this becomes a dictionary of this, car. Okay. This is fine. We don't need to do that. And here we can do result.add. To map I like this. And there's no need to break here. Oh yes, we do, because we can have only one yes, once we find one for the column, it's fine. Okay, so this one be our map all. Okay, so now we have a map of all the non-white space, and then we need to work it out. Because we need to also have code that checks for like a direction hitting one of the special ones and what that means. So did I? That basically would be this. Never mind. So this one would be a dictionary of this, comma, car for the special one. Okay, so now we do var hit is tiles, try get, no, we just if tiles and try get value next tile out car hit. We hit something and need to change. Else yield return next tile. Boom. This is fine, because if there's nothing else to do, it won't return anything. So now we need to figure out if this what the case is. So so we do switch hit and then do this, and then we can do is it hit switch then this? I can't remember the logic. Let me just find, because I've used it a few days ago. Current project, find all. That's not the right. This is also not the one that I was looking for. I had an inline. Was it case? Let me see, was it day 10? I don't know which day it was. Was it day 12? Yes, here. This, switch, and then that. Okay. Okay. Got it. So hit, switch, and then we do... what is the name of the tile again? Let's see, the vertical splitter. direction. Yes, I was looking, I couldn't remember the, just wonder if I can do this here in the same, direction equals my distance dot, because if it's a vertical splitter, it needs to either be left or right. And this will actually need to be like this. Oh. No, direction it can only be one. Is right. Can it be triangle? Yes. So how do I include that here? Because I can do this. Does it allow me, or is it too complex here? No. Okay. Oh, what I can actually do is, but that would make it complicated as well. Do I turn this into a function for every one of these? What I could do is have a combination. Yeah, no, because the thing that you have inside here needs to be evaluated to this, so I can't do that. But what I could do, I could make this into a ternary, like I think I could do something like this technically, but it feels very dirty. So like, I think I could do something like this. A constant value is, okay, no, okay, that's not. And I think it's good that I can't. So basically what I need to do, these are conditional. So what I could do is have like a dictionary. Here we go again. Could use a standard switch on what you hit, a map switch. Yeah. The thing is, there is just a bunch of combined rules. So I don't know if that's the. So I could do switch, hit, case, horizontal splitter. Horizontal splitter, vertical splitter. Mirror like this. And the thing is, you say like you could use a standard switch on what you hit and a mapping switch for direction, but what I actually need to do is, in some cases, I need to yield one or more things. So even there, the mapping switch doesn't come in handy, I think. So if it's a horizontal splitter, if direction equals, actually maybe it is, direction switch, direction, light distance. How did I call this distance? My bad. Light direction. Light direction dot left. Yield return. Okay. Because I need to do two things here. So then I would have to do like new, IEnumerable. This becomes messy as well. I'm not sure if I like this, but let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. And this one would be That was an epic name. Light distance away. Yeah. Let me see. Cannot create a new instance for abstract interface. Okay. We can do. Like this. Oh, actually, I could have just used the. Could probably just have done this, right? And then. No, does it like that? Invalid expression term. Okay. Let me think. Basically, I just want to do if direction equals light direction dot left or direction equals right. Then I want to do yield return. And does it actually, because I need to return the current one plus the new ones. That's interesting, because we are on an empty tile, we move into the splitter, so the move would actually just be go there, but afterwards it splits. So that is interesting, because basically as soon as it's in bounds we can do yield return next tile, basically, because we can always go there. And then here we do the, it should probably, this should probably be based on the current tile, right? It's fine. And also the thing that it needs to return is the direction. Let's see. I enter a place with a position and a direction, and then I want to know what happens after that. So basically I need to process the current one and then yield without processing. So I think that is basically what I should do here. I should process the current tile, not the next tile. I shouldn't care about the next tile yet. Let me see. Let me see. If current position. If we are somewhere special, then we need to do this. We'll yield return combine current position, comma, and this would be a directional move up like this, and then we need to do the same for down. And var up is this. Then we do if is in bounds up, yield return up. This is the nice way to do it, I think. Var down equals this. If is in bounds down, yield return down. Okay, that is fine. Then we do the same for this one. And else we just do yields. We do the same. Var next equals to combine current position, comma, directional move. The directional move direction. If is in bounds next, yield return next. Okay, so this is basically the logic for a mirror. And I need to do the same for vertical, but this one becomes up, down, and this one becomes left, right, right, left, like this. Okay, so I have our logic here. These are the splitters. And then we have the mirror left to right, top left. So this is the backslash and this one is the forward slash. Let's see. If we have this case, let me see. If you go from left, you turn right. If you go from right, you turn right. If you go from bottom, top, you go left, and if you go from bottom, you also go left. So okay, so horizontal means a right turn, and vertical means a left turn. Did I get that right? So like, this one turns right, this one turns right, this one turns left, this one turns left. Okay. If direction equals to lie direction dot left, or direction equals right, sure. Let me see. If it's left or right, if direction equals up or right, direction equals light direction down, you say nope. I'm not sure what you mean. If I go up here, it moves left. If I do this, it moves left. If I go from left to right, it goes to the right, and I go from this, it also goes to the right. If you go from top, you move left. Yes, that's what I say here. If you go from top or bottom, you move left. And if you go from left or come from left or right, you move right. It's a four-way mapping. Yes, but the direction that you're heading into, this is relative to your current direction, right? You rotate one. You move one in one direction. I'm confused because I imagine a ball mirror. Yeah, I know, but this is like the 90-degree angle that you take. I just haven't written doing a 90-degree based on a direction yet. So let me just show you what I mean. How do I call this? Light direction, rotate 90. You do light direction, current, bool left, right? And then you can do current, switch like this, and then you do light direction dot left. Yes, like this. Where you go left, and you go left, you go down. Light direction up, right? So this is one case. When you're going left and you go rotate left, you go down. If you go to rotate right, you go up. So this is the translation. And I should probably have started with up, right, down, left. So if you're going up, if you go left, it becomes left. This one becomes right. If you go right and you go left, you go up, otherwise you go down. If you go down and you go left, you're actually going right, and otherwise you go left. And these are the mappings 90 degrees to change your rotation based on your current direction, right? So in this case, new direction is rotate 90 direction, comma, right. Like this, bool rotate right is this. And then you get this. Do you understand what I mean now? With my right-left turn? I was meaning 90-degree turns, left or right, not a fixed position that you, if you travel in one direction, that one is the one that you're going to. Let's see. So now we do var next is combine, current position, new direction. If is in bounds next, yield return next. Like this. What's the issue here? Ah, this one goes like this. That is what you mean? I misunderstand you. I thought it was. Yeah. Sorry if I wasn't clear. That's why I was going like, if you come from left, you take a right turn. If you come from right, you take a right turn. If you come from top, you take a left turn. If you come from bottom, you take a left turn. So that was what I was trying to say. But I hadn't written the code to do that yet, so I can understand if that was confusing. I don't think we need any of this right now. Let's just delete that. Next style doesn't exist. A local variable named, because I didn't do this. So if I add this now to the case logic, I can do var next within that scope, because now the scope is no longer shared. So let's just add that and make it clearer. And now we do the same for this one, but opposite. Because I believe once you do this the other way, it just flips, right? Or does it change the axis as well? Let me just figure it out. This one becomes left. This one becomes left. This one is a right turn, and this one, yes. So it's just flipped. So rotate right is just this becomes rotate left. So this becomes not rotate right. Oh wait, I did it the wrong way. Okay. Because this one is rotate left. And in this case, when you have a bool that you pass to something, I always like to make it named so that you know what you're trying to pass, that this is left and this is left is not rotate right. So that reads a lot better in my opinion. Let's see. And in this case, it's just the vanilla case of, okay, try to go right if we can. We just follow our direction. Okay, so now we have the logic that based on our current position, we will get the next places that we go to. And this can be 0, 1, or 2 results. Let me think. We have int row, int call, well, start position is 0, 0, and we have light direction, start direction is dot right. Okay. What I want to do now is not only produce this this map, but I also want to produce this map. So let's do that. Yes, let me think. Because I want to have a dictionary of int row, int col, light direction. Emit map like this. And this one will create a sparse map of all the things, and every time I hit an existing point I will just add the direction if it doesn't exist already. And what I should probably do is that once I hit something that has been traveled already, I stop processing. Right? So we do for next moves is how did I call it? To move. So let's do int row, int col, current position equals starting position, and then we do light direction, current direction is start direction. So we do var moves is move, current position, current direction, while moves and I can just do this to array actually. Okay, what is the issue here? I need to feed it the map as well. Map. Is this the emit map? No. And how did I call it? Because I parsed it here. Special. Mirrors and splitters. Let's call it like this. Let's explicitly name it. Make it global here so that we can access it. Actually, yes, but where do you store direction of beams that already passed a given tile? Yes. That's what I have with this light direction. This is a flags enum, so I can just add that. I can add the direction. So I can check if the tile already exists. If the current flag in there already has that light direction, I can stop, otherwise I'll add that light direction. And this one will be mirrors and splitters, like this. Okay. Yeah, it's a flags. I should probably just make this into a queue actually. So let's do it like this and do this a queue. Boom. And then I can do for each var move in this. Then we do move step and queue move like this. Var m is move into queue. And I should probably already add the current one to my map, so, because I have emit map, come on, emit map, add current position, comma, current So I know this state is fine, I don't need to check it because this is the initial state. So what I can do now, if emit map try get value m dot wait, is my move... This is not correct. Let me see. This one also needs to tile, and then we have light direction like this. So this one becomes up, comma, light direction of up, light direction of down. Next, comma, direction. This one becomes left, comma, light direction of left. Right. This one keeps its direction. New direction. Like this. And this one keeps its direction. Okay, so now our Q is not correct anymore. Like this, so that is fine. So yes, it adds this one. Yes, let me see. Try to get value m dot tile out of our existing light directions. Okay, come on. If existing light directions and m dot direction equals m dot direction, already visited this one, no need to process further. Else, then we can do we update this. And this needs to be and, by the way. Direction. So we change the direction. And else we add it to the list. Emit map dot add m dot tile m dot direction. Okay. And in this case we do the same logic as there. For each move in move m dot tile m dot direction, we do this, and we do the same here. For any other we don't care. This one we stop processing, and now we should be able to calculate our emit map dot keys, actually dot count, I think it's just, yes. So P1 equals this, and this should be the light up part. Let's make sure that we enable test is true. Okay, let's run this, and I need to stop because I'm running the wrong day. Took us a long time to get there, but I think we wrote a pretty solid foundation here. Okay, it's 46 and we have 29, okay. That's interesting. Okay, now we should probably write out the now we should make a void print map, and let's do this for int row is 0, row smaller than row count, increment row. For int goal is 0, goal smaller than goal count, same, boom, console.writeLine. Let's see, dict value, let's see what you write here. Dict x is value, we'll add a new value with key. Yeah, I know, I like it. I like to be explicit about it. I prefer it that way, but I know that you can just blindly use that one. Let's see. We need to do if emit map try get value row comma call out var dir like this, else console.write empty marker like this, yes. I can do switch. And then I can do light direction. No, I need to do there here. This. Okay, and then I need to bit operations, pop count. There. Like this. Boom, 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 boom. Let's do the print map. Emit marker. Emit map. Okay, let's do this. 6. That's interesting. 60. Wait, what? There's something strange going on here. I did something wrong. Let me just check this here. Wait, why doesn't the print... Oh yeah, okay, but why doesn't it... why doesn't this switch work properly? It's interesting. Because it always falls through to this one. So I can do int like this. Is that better? No. I don't understand this at all. And how come it's 6? Did I do something wrong here? Because 6 is a combined of 2 and 4. but this one never hits, so I wonder how it's even possible to... I'm not following this, because this try get value never hits for some reason, yet I have combined values. So let me just... So if I just take this out... Okay, so now it should say... See, right? These are all unique values, but that is not correct because we should have hit something twice. So we'll have to debug that actually. If I put this side by side, so it hits this with value right. But it also says that it can do this one with value right, so that is weird. Because this is a splitter. Did I have the split logic wrong? Because this one should hit that splitter and then boom. Let's step through this. Let me think. Because moves right now has nothing. It has the first initial move. Okay. It doesn't exist there. So we move into this one. So now we have current position is 0,1. So that would mean this one, and this one would mean our special tile. So the hit, it's a vertical splitter. And I have this logic wrong. I have these switched. No, wait. Yes, I have these switched. So this is vertical, this one is horizontal. Set next statement. Okay, so that is fine. Okay, that makes more sense. I still don't understand the print map. Like this one is... I don't understand this at all. Like I can just use switch div case dot up. Up, right, down, left, default, and then we do this one. Right, come on, right. Let's not add this here either. Up. Right, down, left, okay. Let me just run this now and see what it does. And now it works, okay. And now my printing is also normal, Jesus Christ. Okay, so let's see what I come up with here. Because I say I enter it with right, they don't store this as right here. So there's a difference between how they treat that. So basically they say that they don't care for... No. Okay, so I get the right answer, but I treat this... The way they count the directions is different. Okay, so I still don't know why the switch printing here is so messed up, because this just doesn't work, even without these ints here. Like the straight up evaluation didn't work. We which is pretty weird in my opinion. But yeah, old case code for the win. Let's see. They don't change character if they're not in an empty place. That's not true, because they do that here as well. If you look at their mapping, where did they have this one here? No, this one I think. That was // Okay, yeah, they only count the empty one. Okay, so only for empty ones they track the amount of stuff. I will probably have to change that code, but it's fine. Let's run the real input. False. Boom. And then P1 becomes this one. Let's get that gold star. He said very confidently. Woohoo! It works. Okay, let's read part 2. Let me put the real value here so that my assert will work. Boom. P2 and this one. Boom. Yay for a gold star. Let me take a sip of my cappuccino. So yeah, you're correct. They only count the empty spaces, but I track every space so that I can exit early. So yeah, I like that. Let's see, part 2, and let's like this. Okay, let me just mark the test result for part 2 here so that I have it. And let's go back to true. Okay, let's read part 2. As you try to work out what might be wrong, the reindeer tugs on your shirt and leads you to a nearby control panel. There, a collection of buttons lets you assign the contraption so that the beam enters from any edge tile and heading away from that edge. Okay, you can choose either of 2 directions for the beam if it starts on a corner. For instance, if the beam starts in the bottom right corner, it can start heading either left or upward. So the beam could start on any tile in the top row heading downward, any tile in the bottom row heading upwards, any tile in the leftmost column heading right, and any tile in the rightmost column heading left. To produce lava, you need to find a configuration that energizes as many tiles as possible. In the above example, this can be achieved by starting the beam in the 4th tile from the left in the top row. Okay. So let me just do part 2. So I can do int beam. We do int row, int call start position, then light direction. Why doesn't this feel hard? This feels stupidly easy, but I might be missing something here. Let's not do this. Return init map and count. Okay, like this. So I can just do part 1 is beam start position, comma start direction. I know, right? It's too easy. So I don't need to do the print map. I need to do console.writeLine. Where did I? I never write out the result. Okay, never mind. Console.writeLine P1. If test P2 is beam 0,4 down. Light direction is down. Right. Okay, did I have the wrong starting position? Let me see. Fourth eyes. I need to have index 3, of course. Boom, let me run this again. So now I have 12. Did I do that wrong? Yes. Okay. So let me see what I do wrong. I need to direction here. And I should probably make these not global here anymore. But these are relative to part 1 only now. So part 1 we get this. And now... Okay, so it works. Okay. Bottom. So now we need to do else. For int row is 0. Twice 3 row count, increment row. Int local result. Local result is beam row comma 0. So let me see. We are walking the rows, so we do it once from left, once from right. If local result larger than P2, P2 is local result console.writeLine new best result. P2, okay. Let's do it like this. New best result, and we do row comma 0 light direction going left. Boom. Then we do the same but right. I just can't be bothered to do this in a different way right now. Let me see. Yes, so this one will take this one, and for this one it needs to be actually this one needs to be right direction, right, sorry, right. This one needs to be left, and this one will be call count -1, like this, and this one becomes left, and then we do the same for the columns. I know this isn't pretty, but it works. Boom. And then we do goal. This one will be 0. Row 0, so it goes down. So this one will be 0, goal. And then here we get row count -1, goal, direction up, new best result. This one becomes row count -1, goal, going up like this, and this should be our answer now. So if I do it for the real thing, test is false. Boom. Okay. Woohoo! Part 2 done. Yeah, that was too easy. And probably I should write this in a nicer way, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, that was funny. It was funny. I expected more difficulty really, but it was fun to do. It was fun to do. I wrote a lot of code though. So now when I share my code, somebody who did it in Python in 4 lines will be like, why did you write so much code? But to be honest, I prefer it this way because this is, for me, this is very easy to maintain. It's very clear, personal opinion, very clear to read, easy to follow. So if I have to change it, it's easy. Try all angles. And since we walk rows and columns individually, there's no corner case that you have to do the extremes in 2 directions, etc. So yeah, it's all fine. Yeah, that was fun. So let's run it again, and now I should have no debug, assert error, boom, done. It's not the fastest, it could probably cache some stuff, but it is fine. I like it. So let me take a look at what Amartey wrote for today. I can probably just take, no, that's not it. Let me see. Here's a GitHub post. True, when I see Python code people produce, it's like, WTF, how would you know what's going on? Yeah, I mean, I can follow it most of the time, but yeah. And there's probably lots of stuff that you could do smarter than what I did here, because it's like very verbose code. It's like, okay, print map, that's fine, that's just for debugging. But you could probably find a way to map this smarter, right? The relation between the two. I'm sure there's, and like, I'm sure there are shortcuts to doing this, but this is, anybody should be able to read this and follow it, I think. At least in my opinion. You've done the same flags enum, but with hex, it doesn't matter here. But this could bite you in the ass for the higher regions, I think, won't it? I know you'll just go to F, right? And then FF, okay. Like if I don't do it in decimal, I usually do it in binary, so you can see the bits actually jump. Is there an easy way to have the higher ones in hex? Is there a reason for that? I never done it in hex, but I think I've seen it before, and there might be some tricks that you can do to make it easy as well. I know it's just a habit. Ah, okay. No worries. I thought there was like, because it's in hex, you can jump to F and then to FF and then FFF maybe. But at that point, I think like having the individual bits show instead of just the base 2 numbers would be the nicer way, but it gets quite big. So yeah. Let's see. Ref struct process parameters. Let's see. A string span input. Each span is span byte with height xy. Old habit from C language time. Yeah, no worries. No need to defend yourselves. I always try when I see something that doesn't immediately make sense to me. I always try to see if there's something for me to learn there. And otherwise I just try to give my opinion to help others. People I work with always use one. Yeah, that's yeah. And you could have them relative to each other, right? So you have like this one, and this one becomes left shifted to the one shifted one. The thing for me is I have these base 2 numbers up to like very large. I have them in my memory like that. So it's just a and I can recognize and type them right away. But yeah, having the literal bit shift there, it easily makes it clear that it's a flags enum as well. So I don't have an issue with that. The only thing is if you like mess up with your relative path, if you add one in between, you have to change all of them. So yeah. Well, depending on how you want to change it. But yeah. Let's see. Step in direction. Ah yeah, because it's a class here or a struct, you can just modify the parameter directly. You also have a draw map. And this is actually the smarter thing to do. Just have like compile time constants that will just, if this is not true at compile time, it will just not even emit this code. So in my code it will have to constantly evaluate, and I know it's very tiny, it doesn't make that much of a difference, but like if you're looking for performance or a way to actually do this and switch it outside and never while running, this is the most efficient way to just literally take out code, because this piece of code won't even be passed to the compiler. Let's see, close draw map, sure, draw map, this is all. Is there something funny here that I like? Don't think so, right? Just parameters input get add. Replace dot because our terminal shows 3 dots as its own glyph. Ah, that's annoying, Jesus. Is there no way to turn that off? That's annoying. That's why I like for terminals, I just like monospace fonts, just the simple old boring stuff, no smart things enabled there. Let's see, process bean, while true, loop exit logic inside, sure. C is get at this. At this point, wouldn't you consider just passing parameters? Since like, or maybe have like an overload, like you could have like an overload here that passes this and then breaks out into the more general case. Something I might do. Let's see, what did you say? Not aware of any way to do so. Let's see. Ah, that was for the dots escaping, yes. There is a trick that you could do, but that's even dirtier, and have like zero width characters in there. Yeah, and that might actually print as a square box, so you don't want that at all. So if you've already seen this one, you exit early. Get at is a span extension, didn't want it to be this problem specific. Ah, okay. Set at. Okay. If our current place is continue in the same direction. Okay. Ah, and you have continues here. So that's the never nester thing. For me, personally, I know people dislike nesting, but for me, having the nesting here actually visually lets me block out which code gets run. Like if I scroll past this, you have all these code blocks with conditions on the same level with continues. So the actual control flow becomes, well, if they all do the same, it's not that bad, but that's just preference. So I know people dislike having nestings, but for me it's like, okay, I can actually visually, mentally block out everything else by seeing which path gets executed. But I don't like it when it goes too deep. So, and this is totally fine. I know a lot of people will prefer this style. Oh, you have the directional switch here as well. Let's see. Ah, okay. So I figured I would just implement this logic once for taking one step in one direction. And then just use that generalized. But this is also fine. Preference true, yep. The funny thing is that at least here you can see the whole logic in isolation. The downside of having like my, what did I call it, rotate, this one. Well, you can infer from this, but there's also, it's not that bad to have it inline and actually see what it does. What does this one do? Is there a delay there in draw map? Where's the draw map function? Sleep. Ah, yes. Ah, so you actually have it nice and animate. Cool. Do you have a recording by any chance? I like to see it. You took some time to make it nice. If there's any way for you to record it, feel free to drop it in the Discord. I'd like to see the beam go. I think that would be funny. Unsafe? Ooh. Energized map with beam. Why is it unsafe though? Let's see. Look like this. Limit the possible map size as stack space is limited, especially given the fact that we use recursion. Okay. Okay. So you actually build up a mapping here. For me, I just use a sparse. For all these kinds of things, I always default to having sparse maps. Because there's like... these ones aren't that bad, because like half of the map is filled with data anyways. I always try to default back to sparse maps, because whatever they throw at you, you won't have to rewrite all your code. That's just some personal trauma from previous advents of codes. Like, I will usually never actually construct a full map unless there's a good reason to. Especially when you have to walk stuff and let's see, process being blah blah blah. Yeah, I think this is all fairly straightforward for this one. Ah, how did you do this one? Math.max sum, energize with beam, line with. Oh, you just do a max on each of them. Yeah, sure. I was like, I can remember writing so much more code than what you've done here, but that's because I also have a like a debug thing that shows you which one now takes the best row, etc. So yeah, this one is a lot cleaner to read. So maybe I should take out all my debug stuff, but I kind of like seeing like the incremental new king of the hill type of thing. Let's see. Leftover from when I messed with stack a lot. I worked a lot with textures, and for me normal maps is a given unless I can't make it better. Okay. Yeah, nice. So are you doing game development then? Saying that you work a lot with textures? And is there something that you would like to show? Always interesting, like game dev, indie game dev has always been something that I was really interested in. Let me see if you have any fun stuff in here. Nope. If I Google this, will I get an itch page? There's a YouTube. And there's an RPG maker. What did I see? RPG Maker, MV, Game Making Drive. Game dev in Unity and Unreal. I'll post a link in Discord. Ah, cool, thanks. I'll check that out later. I actually made a game. I made a few games, but let me just Snooty NKCSS. Do I find that one? Let me see. Snooty. I think it's one of their most popular games. Yes, this one. Copy link. So this one is a video by two friends of mine, and I made a game with another friend, and we entered it into the Bracky's Game Jam, and we were like, okay, my last boss isn't connected, so I'll do that some other time. But we scored very, very high with that. It was really fun. And I got Danny to play the game, and yeah. But that's a story for another time. Let's round up for today, and then hopefully see you again tomorrow. As always, on Sundays I have training with my dog, so it will be a stream in the afternoon for me, so a bit later than normal. So I hope to see you again then, and if not, maybe in the coming weeks. So thanks for keeping me company today. It's been fun. It's always nice to have people in stream, especially when they code as well. So yeah, thanks, and